Okay, since we were so rudely interrupted, I'm going to go deep with you because that's just where my head is. So hopefully you've got a couple of decades of martial arts experience before you're listening to my nonsense. Thank you. All right, so how do you really grasp Tai Chi from a Kempo experience or Okinawa Te, or let's say you're just a jiu-jitsu person? Okay, we're going to start from the advanced way and come down. This is what I have to do every day in order to continually practice, because it is an eternal practice. So if you don't want to figure out what you're going to be doing for the rest of your life, just hit skip and get to another video, because I'm going to reveal some scary secrets. Okay, Tong Sao, we do not move our stance, right? We're not down here shuffling, doing all this. We're standing still. This is for usually taught to old people first, or children. The secrets of relaxation in combat. Okay, so our whole body is part of this martial system that we're going to use, right? So first, imagine Pung is this big giant bubble around you, and it goes deep into the earth, and it represents your whole effect. So it could be bigger than you can figure. Like, people who go like this and have people fall over, maybe they're hypnotized, maybe it's something else. We're going to explore all that. But in order to explore that, you have to explore the depths of your body. So we're going to move differently. We're not going to be doing movements. We're going to be talking about the internal stuff. So the first thing to understand internal, let's go stupid. Breathing is internal. How does your body move when you breathe? Does your stomach expand? Does your chest rise and fall? Does your whole body go in and out? Do your hips move when you breathe? Does your shoulder move when you breathe? Can you even hold still for 10 seconds? Let's try it. 1. Now, if I get into it too deep, I'll start standing still here for hours. Okay, so first, practice the most stillness you've ever thought of. Now, most of us have done this for decades. So if you've been a martial artist, you have some amount of Qigong stillness in you. Some. You have to, in order to do any of these movements and not affect your balance, right? The average person doesn't have this. So the way you can build it up really quickly is tell somebody they're stuck into the ground, like they're on a boat or a surfboard, even better, right? This is, Lua has the best explanation, I think. You want to be into your feet, not in your hips, right? You don't want to be locking into your knees. So the real secrets of a horse stance is making this one unit, right? So it becomes either rocking, or let's say you can't do that at first, you're going to start moving your middle like the hula hoop in a dance form, right? Maybe it's just your knees. You can't do that. Oh, that would kill you. Maybe you can't. But you want to get to the point where this is like a baseball bat swing, right? So just as quick as from here to just get to rocking, that could be decades before some people feel no pain from rocking around, right? The doctor of rock, So to advance to something like a strike might be a little too much for grandma. So we're gonna do this basic fluidic movement. Now, what you're learning from this fluidic movement is how to move just your mind about the movement. Not the strength of a movement, just the ability. And some people, when you move in certain ways, like, they can't move in certain ways fluidically, like this. So Usually cleaning is the solution. Wax on, wax off. Repetitive motion can restore. But if somebody's really injured, their chi system, the strings in their body don't work. They can't go to every posture without pain. This is the basic thing you do anyway. So you want to get into your stance like the boat's rocking, and you're just going to stick to your stance. So whatever happens up here, I'm just trying to stay centered. So in a punch, your defense doesn't have to be just your technique. It can also be this relaxed turn. See, and I can go back here. Like, let's say that's a punch. Yeah. Oh, but I can turn and keep my center balanced. And now, because the force has gone in front, that black and white circle has rotated. And that's Tai Chi 101, basically. And the softer you can turn somebody, the more masterful you are at Tai Chi. So you have to be able to get into these really low, stretched, twisted movements like you're being tossed at sea. Or, you have the hula hoop movements. So for these movements, they're not so easy for me. My high kicks are no longer up there. So this is what gets those kicks up there. And it's secret. Don't practice this and teach everybody. You should be standing like a priest, or, hands behind your back is the old secret, right? And then very slowly, you're gonna be checking your pung value. How hard can you tai chi ji? How hard can you strike and solidify all the way down into that? And that might be different. And that's Wu meditation, right? So maybe the stress is between your elbow and your wrist. Well, you could do shaking movements, but really the best way is the very slow, gentle way, where it's this over a period of minutes. And you can add in a twist. So this way, I stick myself at a really higher level of squeezing and relaxation. I usually drop down deep and make sure, how relaxed can that go, and stretch it around and, basically change the makeup of that zone, right? So when you grab onto people, you're working with those zones too, the gaps in their wrist and their elbows, and what they can't feel you turn, basically. And then all you do is you get right behind them and you just lost your balance. But it looks more fantastic from your side. So the way to get there is this. Still, just imagine you're gonna get knocked out and then come to right about here and then win the fight, basically. So wherever this first strike is, right? So I'm imagining here. See, this is gonna whip. My torso is gonna torque from being turned like this. And you heal yourself by doing the opposite turn. Somebody strikes you on your right side, make sure you turn to them your left, right? We don't do strikes in Tong Sao, but you can manipulate somebody so effectively when you're doing it this way. So what you want to feel is almost like a floodgate of life, energy, water, whatever you want to imagine, is kind of shooting out from the base of your hips. You don't have to do any squeezing. It's just relaxation upwards, stretching out all of your spine. And then turn back and forth. Now you can get that feeling really well in the mornings if you put your hands up until you feel any amount of pressure, So if you're pressure, like you feel pressure as soon as you lift, just stop. You want to be able to go from here to here and here without any weirdness, So a lot of this kind of movement might be required to fix your shoulder problems, but eventually, let me turn. So this is like a yang style, right? So you whipping this way, right? And here's your basic blocks in that system, right? So if you get taught that they're this way, we're just whipping the hand around in a little bit of a mental fashion. So I'm shooting the G, the mental squeeze, just I'm not even doing anything. If anybody touched me or pushed me, it's like this, barely a stream of water, right? Barely a stream of water. And then make sure this stream of water can turn and twist without any other pains. That's Taiji. So then you can use your hand as a totally nasty weapon, but totally relaxed, right? Where you're not thinking this kind of stuff. You're thinking, you're getting whipped this way, and that becomes the strike because you're using this relaxation. So this is the fast way to do it, stuff like this. You can throw 1,000 punches and really expose all kinds of damage up and down the spine. But you don't want people to quit on you, so you want to give them good information. So first of all, this is a spine stretching exercise that every martial artist should know. Now, there's argument on how high you should draw these back. This is the highest, right? The purpose is to block a kick secretly. This guy's kicking me. He can't see this hand because so there is that's my defense to his roundhouse. Cutting his tibia or his foot. That's so half of the block here. And Tong Sao is very gentle, so you don't feel anything. It's just whoop, and you're losing your balance. So you have to be able to put your hands on somebody and not have pressure, right? As soon as you, like a snake that has not decided how it wants to eat the prey yet. It knows that if it moves in certain ways, there's no way that the movement can be resisted with barely any effort, right? It's a falling, dying, relaxing, shedding of the snake skin way of fighting. Just keep your balance. So then you can grab on and pull. Especially when something gets in your way, that's what the snake does. I grab onto this branch and this branch. And then I have full balance here. Right? And you can manipulate your people much more fun ways, especially when you're doing it gently. I'm Charles Kindle. This has been Tong Sao lesson number 17.